What's going on, guys? Back with another Wizards video. And the Wizards somehow managed to get a win today. You know, it got rough there at the end, as it usually does. We almost lost, but they managed to close out a game. You know, I think it was a little questionable decisions made towards the end of the game from Scott Brooks as far as replacing Deni and Troy Brown with Ish and Davis. But I will say, Scott Brooks, good job on the switch to 2-3 zone. That helped turn the tide. And also sticking with Alex Len throughout that fourth quarter, because he was a very big key, and it seems as you realize that as well. So good job on you for keeping him in the game. As you see, he came up big when he helped deter that shot from Dragic at the end of the game, or towards the end of the game. That turned out to be big. He was good on the boards, you know. So those 2 points, I give props to you. Troy Brown Jr. playing point guard, I would not give you that much credit, because Westbrook and Neto are going to be back. So I don't know when we're ever going to see that again. This was just a thing of force, pretty much. He ain't really have a choice. You know, you don't want to put Winston out there, so you rather put Troy out there, you know, who's done it before. So this game, man, it was an actual, like, NBA game. It was 103-100. In terms of Wizards scores, that's, like, incredibly low. Incredibly. That second half, when they switched to zone, it was a really good switch. The Heat were shooting above 50%, I believe. They got their percentage down to 43% from the field and 34% from three. Kelly Olynyk did not help the Heat at all. He was really hurting those dudes out there on the court for the Heat. But, I mean, we seen a lineup that I was just craving for. I was craving for this lineup. Troy Brown Jr., because Ish Smith was not shooting the ball well tonight. You know, he was 0 for 8. And then Ish isn't the best, you know, defensive as well. So, I was hoping for Troy Brown Jr. at the 1, right? Bradley Beal at the 2. Deni Avdija at the 3. Rui Hachimura at the 4. Alex Len at the 5. And that's what we got. That was the best 5 I thought that could have been out there on the court. Because I don't know why Robin Lopez continues to start. I mean, there's no point of him getting, like, starting, and then he comes out, and he's out for the rest of the first half. He starts the second half, and then he's out for the rest of the second half. I don't get that. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's a waste of time, to be quite honest. Just roll with Alex Len and Mo Wagner. I think it's quite that simple. But it was good to see that lineup because it did a lot of good things. I like what I saw from it. You know, the game got a little close. And I wanted Scott to, you know, continue to roll out with that lineup. But he switched and took Deni out, put Bertans in, took Troy Brown out, put Ish Smith in, which I was very worried about. I thought that was about to be game time. It almost was. It almost was. And if it was, we would be having a very different conversation. My energy would be a lot different right now. But it's not. You know, I will say Davis Bertans, he had a better game than he did yesterday. But that's because it would have been very difficult for him to have a worser game than he had against the Portland Trailblazers. It would have been very difficult to top that trash performance. He did a little better defensively. He did a little better offensively. I don't agree with Deni being pulled and Troy Brown being pulled in preference to 2 lesser defenders in Bertans and Ish, especially with Ish not shooting the ball well. And as you've seen, he took that last shot for the Wizards, that last jump shot, and then he bricked it, and the Heat could have took the lead, but they didn't, and things went the Wizards' way, you know. But I would have preferred to keep Troy in there. I would have preferred to keep Deni in there. I thought they were doing pretty good. I thought that lineup with the zone was doing pretty good. They were rotating well. Nobody was getting blown by. they were just playing really good team defense, you know, when they were out there on the court together. You know, Bradley Beal did his thing, as usual. 32 points, 11 for 23 from the field, 4 for 11 for 3, 6 for 8 from the free throw line. Rui Hachimura, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 3 for 11 from the field. Kind of rough, but he got to the line 9 times, 5 for 9 from the free throw line. So, you know, he had these guys in the post, and they was fouling. So he took advantage, hit 5 of the 9. Deni Avdija played big minutes tonight, 33 minutes. Like I said, I wish he would have finished. But 13 points, 4 rebounds, 5 for 9 from the field, 3 for 5 from the three-point line. Had a couple fouls. You know, I think he had like 3 in total, but he had a late foul. I think he had a last foul on Leonard. And after that, that's when Bertans came in the game for him. But it would have been nice to see Deni get some more playmaking as well. I would have liked to see that. But Troy did a pretty good job, so it was nothing I really can complain about. Robin Lopez, I'm skipping him. I mean, I just do not care for his post-up, slow the game down, hook layups. I just don't. It's so slow. It's so boring. Alex Len, 27 minutes, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 for 4 from the field. He did a lot of things out there that, you know, was very impressive to me. If Alex Len was not in that game in the fourth quarter or came out of that game in the fourth quarter, I think they lose that game. I think this is a game we look back on and they lose. You know, but Scott Brooks kept him in there, to his credit. He kept him in there for a long time. Almost that whole fourth quarter, if not the whole fourth quarter. So, Alex Len, who I think should be the starter, because there's no point to keep giving Robin Lopez 18 minutes of gameplay. There's just no point. Give that to Wagner and let Alex Len be the starter. Simple enough to me. Robin Lopez just takes up way too much space. His game is way too slow. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. Garrison Matthews, my guy, 8 points. Troy Brown Jr., 9 points, 7 rebounds. And look at this, no turnovers. You know, getting ball handling duties. He hasn't played for a while. You had the delays, the postponements. You had the COVID protocol. And then he just wasn't playing even before the break. He wasn't playing. He was getting DNPs. So to come in at the one against a Miami Heat team, you know, who can really press you on the defensive end, to have no turnovers is really good, you know. So I thought he did a very good job in his minutes tonight. He had 21 of them, big minutes. And, I mean, all in all, it was your typical Wizards game of just borderline giving you a heart attack. You know, they scare you half to death. It's never easy. They've had one game where it was like, oh, they really took control for the rest of the game. And that was against the Phoenix Suns. But I'm looking at the schedule now. They play the Miami Heat again on Friday at 8 p.m. again. They got to go and do it again. Russell Westbrook will be playing for this game. I think Russ being in would have helped the Wizards as well. I think this game may have been more than a 3-point victory if Russ played, you know, instead of Ish. But I don't want to hear none of the Wizards, one, because Russ not playing narrative. That's trash. That's lazy. I mean, obviously, you just haven't been watching the team if that's your take. That's just the facts. But, I mean, I was very impressed with Beal. Very impressed. Very, very impressed with Alex Len. Impressed with Rui. You know, he was taking advantage of those mismatches. Impressed with Deni Avdija. As usual. Hey, I'm going to have a reaction video to Deni's game today. I really am. But y'all, I know y'all seen that dunk. I know y'all seen the dunk early in the game from Deni. That's my guy right there. And Troy Brown Jr., you know, impressed with him as well. You know, this could lead to him getting more minutes. We will see when Raul Neto comes back. Let's see what happens with Ish Smith and Neto, because that may bump him down. And, you know, Troy Brown Jr. just seems very comfortable when he has the ball in his hands. And we all know that. Everybody knows that. I'm pretty sure a lot of the guys on the team know that. But it's just not a lot of opportunity like there was tonight for him to actually run that point guard position. You know, he did it a little bit in the bubble last season. But, you know, it was good to see him be successful at it today. Because that's where he's most successful at. And you got to figure it out because they picked up his option. So you kind of got to figure it out. I mean, you got to. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I will be making a reaction video to Deni Avdija's 13-point performance, so be on the lookout for that later. I may drop it before I drop this video, actually, so you may see that on your feeds first. But if you guys like the content, all that good stuff, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You guys already know. But until next time, guys, peace.